Hi, I'm Alistair. In the previous tutorial, I showed you how LLM-generated forms can be very powerful. However, sometimes you may wish to have more deterministic control over the appearance and contents of your user forms, which is what we'll be covering in this video. We'll begin by creating a new workflow called Tutorial 8. Next, we'll drag in a start and an end event, and name these accordingly. We'll join these two together, then add a task in between them. We'll change this to be a user task and set the name to auto-populate form. In Deductive Designer, every task can have a pre and a postscript, which allows for code that is run just before or just after a task is executed. If we expand the pre/postscript section, we can see separate editors for each one. We're going to open the prescript editor and enter this code. This just creates two variables, list, which is a list of values, and title, which is the string my title. We'll save this and open the form editor. Here we'll set the title to be auto-populate, then the substitutable value title, then test. Again, this is done by adding two curly braces before and after the value. We'll now create a new element, expand this, and set the object name to be list element. The display name will be list, then the substitutable value missing, then element. We'll change the input type to dropdown, and here we can add a value. We'll set this to be the substitutable value list. In the case of an expression which is evaluated as a list, it will be converted to a comma-separated list of values. So in this case, as the value in the dropdown list, it will populate the items of the dropdown with the values inside the list variable. We'll save this, save the workflow, and run it. You can see that we encountered an error, and this is highlighted in red in the actual BPMN and also in the workflow output. If we expand this, go to Event, Content, Parts, you can see a breakdown of the various error messages from this error. You can see that the error here is caused by missing not being defined for the expression missing. If we go into the form editor, we can see that we're expecting a value for the variable missing, but we've not defined this. If we go out and go into the prescript editor, we can then add a value for this. I'm just going to set missing equal to the string missing and save it. We can now save this again and run it. You can see now that in the form it's actually substituted the value with the values that we've set in the prescript. And also in the dropdown we have these values that we set in the list. I'm just going to select one of these values and send it to Deductive. That's all for tutorial 8. In the next tutorial, I'll cover a unique feature of Deductive, which we call dynamic debugging.